Cheating is absolutely fine in Football Manager. Cheating is absolutely fine in Football Manager. Do you know what the best thing about Football Manager is? Is that 99% of the time, it is a single player game. Majority of the time you're playing, your save isn't affecting what I do, and what I do isn't affecting what anybody else does. The only really time is if you're playing an online save, or for instance, what me and my dad do when we're doing it in the same save. And yet, despite this, me and my dad have actually had the piss taken out of us and been mocked on Twitter by some content creators, bloggers, because we use the holiday button and simulate seasons. Some kind of elitism that they play the game better than us because they play every single game, and me and my dad, we play a few games, set up the tactic, and then simulate the season for content. That's been mocked on Twitter, not just the once, by other creators. Now, that was actually a while back. I think it was like Christmas time that it first happened, but there's been more times previous, and I get quite a lot of comments asking how we do it, or whether I play every game, whether I holiday the whole season. And I see them a lot of the time, and I see a lot of people responding it, and I see some people hate the fact that I do that. I even had a comment last week, which is one of the main reasons why I'm making that video today, that I should be playing every single game because I'm not playing the game correctly. Wrong. I'm playing the game how I want to play it. Now, I feel like I was one of the first people to do that on a video because of the rebuild series that I did. The very first rebuild that I ever did with my dad was the Tottenham one, and that was a format that I had taken from other games. FIFA videos, NBA videos, especially NBA videos. I'm big on the NBA around about this time when it gets to the finals and it's draft time for the new up-and-coming stars. I get really into the NBA and I start watching NBA YouTube. I don't know if anybody's like that, but as soon as I get into something, that's what my YouTube feed is about. So I watched a lot of NBA rebuilds on the 2K games. And it was at the time when I thought, I need to integrate this into Football Manager somehow, but how? And I've seen FIFA videos and I've seen NFL videos, and that's where the rebuild structure and format that I brought into Football Manager, and a lot of other creators did as well. I think I was the first, but to do that type of format, but that's where I think it originated from. So if anything, I'm the one to blame with this cheating aspect of the game where you holiday the season. But I feel like it gets a bad rap because of two reasons. One, the way the game calls it and names it and how it's structured in the game and how to actually do it in the game. And two, everybody who did content before me who never did it this way. Now, that was actually a while back. I think it was like Christmas time that it happened, but I've had comments since, and I even had a comment last week saying it was a disgrace that I simulated all the games in the Euros video, whatever. But I don't really care because it's how I enjoy the game. And it's not the wrong way to play it. It's also not cheating how to play it. It's just a different way of playing the game. And a lot of you have wrote comments in the past when I've brought up this topic because it's how you now play the game, or maybe played the game before, because a lot of us have a lot of going on in our lives, whether you have children or you work hard and you don't have as much time as what you used to playing Football Manager, and I get that, and that's the reason why I started playing like it in the first place. I believe I was one of the first people, if not the first person, to do it on YouTube as content, and that's how I played it as content through the rebuild stuff. Like the first ever rebuild video, I based it off of the NBA rebuild videos that I used to watch and adore when I'm into the NBA, and I integrated it into Football Manager content. And it gets a bad rap, and I think it's for two reasons. One is the way that the game portrays that style of play. They call it holiday, of course, instead of simulating, which other games call it simulating. This certain game doesn't, and I've had words with Football Manager asking them to change that, and I'll go deep into that a little bit in a sec. But the other is because everybody before me was doing it where you play game by game in their videos, and and it was a long, prolonged series instead. I think that's the reason why this style of video is very much frowned upon and kind of like class, he's cheating the game. He's not playing it correctly. I feel like it gets put in the same category as people who like download tactics, and maybe that's not part of the game that they're very good at, so they use downloaded tactics to help them enjoy their save. I think like Holiday and simulating the season is put in the same category as that. There's certain people in either the community who play the game or do content about the game really look down upon and frown upon people who do that. And I think it's quite sad. I think if you're somebody who judges someone on their enjoyment in a single player game on the fact that they use a downloaded tactic or they holiday the season, I think you're pretty pathetic, if I'm honest. And I don't really care about your opinion. I mean, I don't use downloaded tactics in my rebuilds. Some creators have done, and yet I still would find their video enjoyable. I wouldn't watch it and go, he's using a downloaded tactic. I ain't watching this. As long as the video is entertaining and I'm engrossed in the story that creator is telling, I don't care. I don't even care if they save and reload. If it makes the story better, and I don't know about it anyway, what difference does it make? Honestly, what difference would it make? I really enjoy people like Stinger's series. He's doing the Libero story right now. If I found out that Stinger was saving reloading to make the story better, I wouldn't be like, never watching him again. Because at the end of the day, as long as I enjoyed the story, it doesn't matter. So the people who are, who leave the comments, who get really annoyed by that, or the idiots who were mocking me around Christmas time, mocking me, like literally taking the piss out of me doing stuff with my dad and then simulating the season with their really childish jokes, you're pretty pathetic. Because it's a single player game. I'd 100% agree with you if we were all playing a massive online game and I was gaining an advantage because of something that I was doing over you who was playing proper, then by all means. That shouldn't be happening. But we're not playing that. We're playing a single player Football Manager game. You really need to just chill out. And I feel like this attitude comes from the fact that the game kind of portrays that how you're supposed to play it. When you go on holiday, it's class, go on holiday. Your assistant manager would win Manager of the Month, for instance, when obviously if you win 4 games out of 4, whatever, doesn't give it to you. Whereas other games, it would still class as you in charge. Football Manager, it doesn't. And I'm trying to be the spearhead to say, let's change that. Because there's so many people now who enjoy the game playing that way. Why are we punishing them for doing so? Because they haven't got enough time. They've got children, they've got work lives, they've got family lives, that they've only got a certain amount of time to play Football Manager, but they want to play with all of these different saves. They can only get to Christmas if they play it that way. By the time, after a couple of months. I used to play the game by game. It used to take me ages to finish a season. Now I get to enjoy so many different teams. I love the way I play the game, and I don't understand why it gets frowned upon so much from these idiots who pretty much cyberbully people. From what I was getting was horrendous banter, but some people might have classed that as being bullied. I didn't. I'm thick-skinned. I can take a lot worse than what those idiots could give me, because I'll tell you now, they wouldn't be saying it to my face. One of them I've even met. They definitely did not say anything like that to my face. And I could tell he didn't like me. I don't care. The way that they were mocking me and stuff was so like elitism on how you should be playing the game. Let me tell you something. Play the game the way however you want to fucking play this game. Because if you want to download a tactic to save your save, download the tactic. If you want to save on holiday to get to the transfer window quicker, get to the holiday transfer window quicker. If you didn't enjoy doing that way, you can just go back. It's a single player game. Nobody cares. I don't care. And to all the content creators out there, or people who want to create content around playing the game that way, do it. Just tell a good story and you'll get viewership. I promise you that. Because that's what I've been doing. That's what Tom's been doing. That's what Stinger's been doing. That's what Clates and everybody else who plays the game this way. They tell fantastic stories, and that's why people care. They don't care that I don't play every single game. Only a very, 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 very small minority care. And let me tell you, if that's you, my content's not for you. That's fine. Just don't leave a comment down below telling me that I'm wrong and I shouldn't be playing the game. Because 1, I don't care. 2, you're pathetic if you think that way. Download the tactic. Save and holiday if you wish. Hell, save and reload. I don't care. It's a single player game. Let's just hope the game, when the new one comes out in FM 25, let's hope they've listened to what I had to say in that point and put it from that point of view and changed it in some way. If not, doesn't matter. I'll still play the game this way. And if it doesn't allow me to do that on FM 25, I'll just play FM 24 still. And I'll just try and make do with what I've got. Because it's how I enjoy playing the game. If they try and stop me from playing the game that way, I just won't play the game. So yeah, bit of a rant, but I feel like it needs to be said. Because I'm seeing a comment every now and then come up, and I just ignore it. And then I get stuff on Twitter about it, and I just ignore it. But I feel like it might affect some people, and that's not okay then. That's not okay from my point of view. The main thing to take away from this is one of my number one rules to all of my friends. Just don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. If you be a dick, probably just won't speak to you, won't hang around with you. If you be a dick on social media, on YouTube comments, you're just a dick. Like, enjoy playing Football Manager the way you want to play it. Enjoy making content around Football Manager the way you want to make content. It's not cheating. It's not cheating. You're playing a single player game.